With the pen, yeah, I penetrate this bitch. So much water on my wrist, yeah, gotta stay hydrated. Killing bad bitches until it's annihilation on annihilation. My occupation is the occasion, yeah, I'm always on time when I pull up in the latest. Something they expected, hard for them to reject it, but I keep them all guessing. If I feel the tension, yeah, I pull up and I stretch up with the Smith & Wesson. On the south, I'm a legend. On the east, you know I'm a reverend, cause I give them all blessings. Yeah. My word is bond, my word is law, your word is not, your word is flawed. Case closure unsolved, I don't fuck with none of y'all. Yeah, put the pack in and put the pack out. Once I let you back, then can get you back out. It's just me, test the temperature. If I don't like the degrees, body change from the temperature when they deceased. I remember used to sell trees, yeah, with Patrice. But because maybe I was just a teen and maybe she was a fiend, they would just get out on me. My life really ain't a sad story, it's a dark comedy. I got power and jealousy. I guess that's just the God of me, ain't no fraud of me. Yeah. As I sat there, wonder how many stars were beside her. One time for the ancestors, gotta let it burn. One time for the bastards who got it backwards. The world ain't yours, only answer, it's all mine. Blame my cancer. Full rounders, turn them into dancers.
One time for the bad bitches with credit, yeah. Feel like Magneto pulled her in with my magnetic, yeah. She ate the dick like a hot bag of Cheetos. My white girl getting thick like a Mexi burrito, yeah. They might give you money down, make you equal, yeah. Guns kill niggas, but hoes is more lethal, yeah. If you wanna book the God facts to Allen's, if you wanna hit the label, then hitting subscribers. If she saying she a freak, let me witness her talent. Baby, I'm not trying to victimize you. We just trying to victimize you, to hypnotize you. Real nigga won't criticize you, cause we just handle business.
As I sat there, wonder how many stars were beside her. One time for the ancestors, gotta let it burn. One time for the bastards who got it backwards. The world ain't yours, only answer, it's all mine. Blame my cancer, full rounders, turn them into dancers.
Introducing the lightweight champion of the world, standing 6'4", hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, the one, the only, Slim Pickens. Warning to all you Bobs and Karens, this show includes adult language. Viewer discretion is advised. You are now tuning in to the Slim Pickens Podcast Show with your host, Jimmy Jam Jarulo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another show of the Slim Pickens Podcast. I am your host, Jimmy Jarulo. Today's guest is somebody I find has a very interesting story, and I'm looking forward to talking to him. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to sit down here on this show. Our guest is Mr. David Baby Byron Shumba.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Byron.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh.
I appreciate you for taking this time out.
Ditto. Right back at you, man. I appreciate you taking time to sit down on this thing. How you doing? You good?
I'm good, bro. Before I got online with you, I was just leaving from working out just to start my day. That's how I like to try to start it. I feel relieved. I feel relaxed.
Right on. That's a good routine. How many times do you work out a week?
3 times.
3. All right.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah, just 3.
Are you
3
a late
days out of the week?
Are you a late riser?
No, actually I'm not, because I have a son that's 8 months.
Oh, shit. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. So that's when it's like, my schedule is his schedule. So that could be 5, that could be 3 in the morning, that could be 8.
I hear you, man.
It's one of those type of things.
I don't have any, but I've got. I'm the oldest of 6, so I've got nieces and nephews. So I've watched it, and I've had plenty of friends with kids, and so.
Oh man, you're blessed.
No,
blessed.
I just didn't get caught, Byron. Let's keep it real.
That's probably what it is.
Or at least that I know of that everybody tells me. So for those that are listening, my guest today is Baby Byron. And for those of you that don't know the story, maybe have forgotten, it was about, 92, Byron?
Yeah, the year I was born, 92 to 96, roughly, it was in the media.
The chunk.
Baby Byron case.
And for those listening, Baby Byron, Byron here, was born addicted to cocaine and heroin, and was put into foster care. And this is your story, so I'm just kind of giving the gist. If I screw this up, jump in, but I'll let you tell it. You were put into foster care, and then you were given to a family, Karen and Michael Durzak, which was a white couple. And for those listening, Byron is black.
Yes, this is true.
And so everything was cool from everything, and I barely remembered. So going back and kind of rereading, everything was cool until they wanted to adopt you. And then it seems like once they wanted to actually adopt you, then all of a sudden the fact that you were a black baby and this was a white family became an issue and became a national issue.
Correct. Yeah. In other words, yes.
And so and do you remember anything or any of this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I didn't get it. I wasn't given a real chance to not remember. Meaning, like, say if I was born in 92 and it lasted to 96 and I didn't get my name changed until like 97, and then I got reintroduced to my biological family around 9 or 10. So there was never a time period I didn't know who I was, or I didn't know what happened, if that's what you're asking.
Well, I mean, like, as a kid, like, I look back and I have memories, but it's like, there's some back to 4 and maybe even before that, but it's like a little snippet. So do you remember, or at some point at like 5 or 6 kind of grasp what was going on? Because I'm assuming it was kind of a dragged out thing for several years. Like once they wanted to adopt you, I guess you can kind of go from there. Once they wanted to adopt you and then the exposure hit, what kind of happened with you from there?
I guess one of the main things that the reason why I even do interviews with this topic is because of one thing about the narrative is not exactly accurate from not only what I know, but also from even what's even in publications. Okay. So, and for example, the highlights of the Baby Byron case is the interracial part. But if you take away the interracial part, there wouldn't be a Baby Byron story. And that's just being honest, because crack babies and drug-addicted children is not black. Even if it was a predominantly black thing at that time, majority of people I know that take substance abuse now, it's not black or white. It's an everybody thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Type of thing. For real. But if we're talking about in context of the time period, crack baby was synonymous image-wise with a black person. Yeah. So when you see this in the media at the time, and you have my foster family who, like you said, and like a lot of people know, were of the opposite race or another race, which is white. And with the media, how they kind of ran with the story as if, what they pretty much call the white savior. Now, it's not saying with my foster families or intentions wasn't pure or nothing like that. Yeah. It's the media's storyline that make everything kind of not really what it was and what it, and really what it ain't. So what it was is, the real truth is, yes, I was removed from my mother, upon birth, but the arrangements was for me to be around biological families or close to kin. But what ended up happening is the system kind of jumped over them a little bit and kind of avoided the placement of me with my biological family. But mind you, they did on and off, but there was a problem where emotions emotions got involved. I won't say a problem. Let's not use the word problem. Let me say there was the entanglement of people's emotions, meaning my foster family grew attached, and also my mother obviously wanted her child back. So these are things that ended up transpiring, but in reality, every family involved was of pure intent. It's just the media might have made it a different narrative.
Well, I won't take it into a political podcast, but it's funny how the media plays a huge part in that even today, in
Right.
how they're able to shape a narrative. So, well, that's really important. So for anybody that remembered this story that's listening or goes to look into it, you know, that's one of the things I did want to give you an opportunity to do, was to clarify anything. And so what it sounds like then is that, you know, these people, you know, they grew attached to you. They wanted, you know, to provide a life for you and wanted to adopt you, but your birth mother still wanted to be in the picture. And it sounded like that was the deal, was like, yeah, we're all going to still be involved. And then the media just turned it into this white family wants to adopt a black baby, and now NCAAP is involved, and everybody's like, no. And because that is, you know, what you read is that it's genocide. We can't keep letting, you know, black babies go to white families. And that was a huge epidemic back then.
That's a very tough phrase to use the word genocide, and like I believe it was cultural genocide.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that one, and that was a very that was a very harsh.
It's tough, man.
I get the from the journalist's point of view, because of, you know, stripping anybody of their culture is how, you know, slavery actually happened. So I get the concept, but I just, at the same time, I feel like, you know, it could have been not so much sensationalized like that. Maybe not so much. But then again, I guess if it's the first of its kind in media, of course it's going to need that type of, you know, because like I said, I was the first of that kind before, like, you know, like Madonna and all that. Like Madonna and
before it became trendy.
Yeah, before it became an accessory to have a black kid. Not saying they did it. I'm just saying, you know, if I see Family Guy, that's the episode.
Let's keep it real, like.
Right, but that's how I see it, you know. So I feel, in my opinion, you know, with the that whole time period, yeah, of course, you know, race played more of a part more than the actual welfare of my well-being. You know what I mean? In reality, race played more of a part, and also a lot of systemic things that were going on in the process. Because my case actually made changes for a lot of other people's cases after that.
Oh, no kidding.
So, yeah, there's a law that was passed and everything.
What would
say for like the name of it? I believe it's the Ben and Child Act, and it was put into legislation in around 95 or 6 or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. Maybe after the Baby Byron case. But I know the Baby Byron case is what made pass the bill and all that for that to happen.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so when you see me as young, I'm probably the youngest form of history walking. I'm probably the youngest form of African-American history walking.
It's a cute little baby picture, brother. You're a cute little kid.
Thank you.
So, did they end up adopting you then?
No, I ended up getting adopted by another family.
Were they black or white?
Black.
Okay, so then that kind of seemed like that was the solution to the problem, was then put you in to be adopted to a black family.
I can't necessarily say what ended up happening is not as black and white as that. But what ended up happening is everybody involved all had good intentions for the placement of Baby Byron, but everybody went about it the wrong way.
I got you.
Meaning, like, say for example, my foster family, they went against court orders to go on television. You know, they went against court orders by taking me out of the county to go across the country to film.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's all these other underlying things that happen that are not necessarily the mainstream or common knowledge, but it should be common knowledge. But it's, you know, like say for example, a lot of people think my mother just didn't even put up a fight. Right? Some people don't think that, but if you look at it can't be a Baby Byron case for that long if nobody was fighting. You know what I mean? Like,
good point.
Realistically, like, that's why I said there's so much contradictions in it that it's you know, I remember those news articles that said my mom did this, my mom did that, and you know, kind of a lot of defamation. But then in the process of defamating this woman for that long, they're not taking into account that this is still a young woman, relatively, by the way. And not only is she young, she's facing a drug issue, and she got clean to get the child back. And in the process, my father died, I think, 4 months after I was born. So my mom had to figure out how to sober up, mourn my father, get custody of her son, all at one time while being in the news as a crackhead and a whore, or whatever the narrative was. So that's why I said it's not as black and white as it is delivered, but at the same time, it's still a conversation that, like I said, till this day, I don't mind having. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Just for clarification purposes.
Yeah, because...
Not even for me. It's really for behalf of everybody that was involved at the time. Because there's always a one-sided story when it comes to media. So that's why I have no problem, even if I'm releasing an album or mixtape, or if I'm doing even something completely different. I'm at a bar mitzvah. I don't mind clarifying the facts. And the clarifying is, you know, a lot of people love Baby Byron. It's just how bad did they love him to what lengths did they all go to try to get to me? That's the question.
Well, it sounds like in so many cases it very quickly doesn't become about the kids or the child.
No.
It becomes about all the adults involved.
Right. Exactly. And that's pretty much the Baby Byron story if you was to generalize it. If you was to sum it up in, like, what's the underlined story? That would be the underlined story, is the adult's idea of what's best for the child, which is pretty a common thing. You know, adult has to think for a child, but surprisingly, this many adults couldn't come together to make one solid decision.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening, I just wanted to, it's like you said, NAACP, that's a group of adults. I mean, the courts, there's a group of adults, the caseworkers, groups of adults, the lawyers, group of adults. You know what I mean? Everybody. My parents and even any custodial guardians outside of that. So if you just do the long list of people, these are all adults. I'm the only child in the situation. But in this situation, that's why I don't feel ashamed about it, because I don't have a say in what the fuck, you know, I don't have a say.
Yeah.
So I don't take it as no, you know, I'm ashamed about it, or that was then or nothing. You know, it's one of those
you shouldn't
things,
be. I mean,
I shouldn't be after a minute, because it's like I can't do nothing about it.
Well, even that,
And
though, it's your story. It's your story.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you. It's like anything else, man. You're born into this world. I didn't ask for this skin. I didn't ask for this color. I didn't ask for these parents. I didn't ask for this life. Like, we all just come in, and you just, like, that's how this works. And then you just deal with it from there.
And that's it. And I agree. And that's why, you know, I have no problem with clarifying that. But to I guess, to generally say, how did it affect me? And, like, all those things, you know, it affects a lot of people differently. You know what I mean? Growing up in foster care, like I said, I don't think I'm special in regards to a lot of that. The only thing that made it special was the interracial part. Because a lot of people I know, white, black, or whatever, I know people in foster care, a lot of them, right?
Oh,
that weren't all black.
Yeah.
That's not all black. And I know a lot of drug addicts that was not all black either. So, but me, like, seeing it face to face lets me know it's like it was a very common thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and that's what humbles me too, because it lets me know that I've seen and heard other stories that were way worse than mine. Way worse. They just didn't get the news. You know what I mean? But they were way worse. You know what I mean?
They also didn't get a Hollywood movie, Byron.
They also did not.
This was so covered, and it was so big that their Paramount did a picture called "Losing Isaiah" that starred Jessica Lange and Halle Berry.
Super hot. That was my mom in that, allegedly.
Bro, did you ever meet Halle Berry?
Never. And you know, it's funny. It's on my to-do list.
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now. When people talk about a Greek goddess in literature and what they look like in person, this woman, when she walks by you, she looks exactly the way she does in the movies. Oh, dude, she's so beautiful in real life. I had the opportunity. I was working on a job for I think it was the Emmys or something, and I worked for a designer, and we were setting up the party, and so they were all coming in and walking through. They were running through their lines and stuff and rehearsing. So I was in this hallway, and I'm rigging something up, and all of a sudden I turn, and she comes walking by. I mean, 5-6 inches, and she's beautiful, in real life. So what? How did that come about? Like, how old were you when they? Who did they approach to get the story? Like,
oh, okay. This is one of my favorite questions I never really get. Is the technical?
Indulge, my friend. Indulge.
The Losing Isaiah film. Now, the Losing Isaiah film and Baby Byron case are one and the same, but they're two different things, and I'm going to explain as to how. Right. Now, Hollywood is known to do what I call reenactments, or rip-offs, whatever people want to call it. You know what I mean? But in my case, I see it as them making a period film on what was currently happening. Because I seen a movie not that long ago, a couple months ago, maybe last year, called Queen and Slim. And it was about the police brutalities, and they ended up shooting a cop, right, in the movie. And then they went on the run, the black couple. And then in the same year, I seen a movie called Black and Blue, where it was a cop and there's a body cam film. Now, all these things are kind of based in real-time events, but they're not real-time events. So when I see Losing Isaiah, I look at the time period, right?
Yeah.
Crack babies was a big thing in the 90s. If you grew up in the 90s, you're more than likely a crack baby if you're black. You know what I mean? If you ask me. Now, it's not to say,
No, I would agree with you. Like we said, the image, because I was born. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. Like I graduated high school in 91, so I was becoming a young adult in the 90s. And when you say to me, "crack baby," that's the image that you were given that was burned into my brain is black babies.
Exactly, and it's not your fault for how you receive it. This is how it's given.
That's
to you.
yeah.
So in reality,
I mean, I don't think all black people are crackheads. Like, let's get that straight. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? No, but you're not. You weren't seeing white babies born addicted to crack, and they push that narrative.
And ironically, they use it just as much as we do, if not more.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And that's why I said, but in Hollywood purposes, for effect, you have to give it to where the news is taking it, and the news takes the cop killings to the black areas. Just like how the crack epidemic was in the black areas, right? So, with the Baby Byron case, it stems from 92 to 96 in the media, whether it was on Montel Williams, CNN, Ricky Lake, Oprah, whatever it could have been. These are big platforms.
Yeah.
Now, Losing Isaiah comes out in the middle of that, in like 95. So, script-wise, and the Baby Byron, I was never in no trash can. But there was a baby that was put in a trash can in Chicago in the 90s or 80s. So the Losing Isaiah story is a combination.
Gotcha.
A variety of stories that deal with the crack epidemic and made it into one story while riding the wave of the actual first publicized crack baby.
Gotcha.
So that's how I see it, but that's not only how I see it. It only makes sense marketing-wise. Even today, when you see a disaster film, usually it comes out around the time that people are paranoid. You know what I'm saying? It's usually around that time. Or when you see, what's that called? Just any type of scenario film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's based in real time. It's just fictionalized. So when I see Losing Isaiah, I see my life, but I also see 1,000 other people's lives too.
Yeah, I get.
So,
I get you.
Yeah.
So did they approach? I mean, was that story specifically though kind of around you? Like they took bits of other stories and put it in the movie, but was this like they came after your story and kind of started with you?
And that's a question that I couldn't really answer without sounding biased. The reason why is because it's like, in my opinion, I have to just go off of timeline and actual, real-time things, and then I look at what they wrote in the film, and then I see what they put. And I remember Tupac had a song called Brenda's Got a Baby, right? And that song came out the same year I was born, 92. And in that song, Pac's talking about a baby that was thrown in the trash can. That, you know what I'm saying? So and that's Losing Isaiah. That's the same film. So I can't say that they took it from me. I feel like what they ended up doing is they used a story, and they just needed the steam behind it. Because if you think about it, when you make a movie about, taboo stuff, or not taboo, or considerably what would have been culturally taboo, as, Jungle Fever type film with Spike Lee, or, with anything to do, some type of interracial meeting ground films, or some type of stuff, you always need it to kind of happen around a time that something's happening. Or else that film wouldn't really gravitate to nobody.
It doesn't. It doesn't resonate with the people.
It doesn't resonate. It has to have. The timing is everything in Hollywood. Just like in music, everything is about timing. What are you talking about in the moment? Are you talking about this, that, or that? Or are you talking about that? Like 10,000 BC, you got Apocalypto. These are two different films, two different crews, same film, literally, literally the same movie. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, with that being said, I honestly don't feel that they wrote the film based on me, even though I think my foster father told me that the film, when he seen the dad had the same occupation as him.
So what you're saying is you never got paid for this. They just straight wrote a script based off you and never even approached anybody.
Of course, that's what they do.
Bastard.
That's not, because a lot of people think I got money from that, or but it's so funny. I seen the Baby Byron story play out in a Law and Order episode. I seen the Baby Byron story play out in a Family Guy episode. I seen my life played out, and I know it's more closely related to me than probably somebody else due to circumstance and how
the exposure.
The exposure as well, as you would say,
I mean, if you wanted to write a script for a series or a show or something, and you started to look stuff up, you pretty much go back to that era. You're going to find a picture of you, your foster parents, just you, pretty much plastered everywhere for several years.
At least. At that time period, at least, right.
That's
so
crazy.
With knowing that, it's different. That's why I said when I watched that movie, I look at it as just a movie, but I know when they made the movie, or when they was pushing the movie, they were trying to ride the momentum of what was the country, because people got to also think of the context of the time period. That's one thing people forget, too. It's pretty much, it's racial as fuck now. Let me not say that. It's racial as fuck now. But back then, it's not social media, as ready, because information now is disposable. Very, the news that comes now, it comes and goes so fast that what happened last, Kobe died literally 5-6 months ago. But if he would have died in the 90s,
we would have been still mourning.
They'd be still mourning for the whole 2-3 years.
Oh, it'd be a while.
Religiously.
Yeah.
Religiously. So with that being said, with the Baby Byron case, like I said, to go in for emphasis on the context of the time period. If you look at 92 to 96 in the media, that means that the whole country at one time thought that this was worth topic, because it's not like one news station, it's the whole country. The Rodney King riots that happened April 29th in 92, the whole country talked about the O.J. Simpson trials, the whole country talked about, you know what I mean? So it wasn't a hit and miss kind of story for that long, for that time period. So that's how I know that if you was a film producer, you're not stupid. You know what I mean? Or that time period.
Yeah.
You're not going to say you got it from me, but
they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
Exactly.
That's shady. So, so then throughout this, though, you ended up reconnecting with your biological family, and that's kind of where it stands today.
Well, I wasn't adopted by them, but I got reintroduced to them at 9, 10, and I also got reintroduced to my foster family around that age as well.
Right on.
So I got a relationship with every family down there.
And,
to some degree, I have some type of relationship with every family member. Yep.
And everything's good and positive, despite the turmoil in the beginning.
Yeah, because my foster mother said it best, and I like to give her her flowers while she can get them. She said that at the end of the day, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, we all just wanted to champion you. We was team Byron.
Right on.
We all went to court, whether it was your mom, whether it was us, whether it was your grandparents on that side. Like, we all was trying to get to you because we all genuinely felt we could do right by you. Even when your mom was clean, we all just genuinely felt, and that's why we all don't have no resentment toward each other till this day, even though in reality, now this is my input, nobody won the Baby Byron case. If anybody pays attention to that, that's one thing. Nobody won. I didn't go with my mom. I didn't go with my foster family. I didn't go with everybody lost. Everybody that was in that courtroom that was fighting for that one, they all lost. So when you think of it in that retrospect and you start putting all that into perspective, it kind of humbles you and also lets you know that, love is something that's just it will test the times, you know what I'm saying? And family and stuff of that nature will test the times, because I got a mom that I consider mom, even though she's not my race. I got a mom, I consider my mom, even if I wasn't raised by her. You know what I mean? So, and I try not to discredit none of all their work that they did, whether or not they got a chance to fully raise me. I don't want to discredit them for what they still tried to do. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I always try to put that out there. You know what I mean? With whoever I talk to, because I don't want, because like I said, for me to be a father now, I don't want no misinformation to be spread out past this point.
Right
on.
on.
Yeah. Because my kid would have so many questions of his grandparents that I can't just give him a simple answer for.
No, that's going to be a long story there.
It's an extremely long story.
That's going to be a long Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful story though, Byron. Like, seriously, how it all worked out in the end, and the fact that, excuse me, the fact that you guys, that the adults ended up staying, good with each other, and there's no animosity, and people aren't. It's not, what happens so many times where just adults end up being stupid, and then it's grudges, or you're just mad. So I think that's really cool that everybody's, that you're a positive human being. How old are you now?
I'm 27.
Right on. I mean, you're a solid young man at 27 that went through all this stuff, but I think that's a really cool, not that it's an ending, but like kind of a wrap up to you being an adult now and kind of beyond all that stuff. So that's really cool. When, well, first off, you're in Pittsburgh, huh?
Correct. Yep.
All right. I won't hold that against you. I'm in Cleveland.
A lot of people. Oh, okay, that's why. I thought you were going to say you're from like Raven. I thought you were going to be like from Baltimore.
No,
because usually people from Baltimore.
Fuck Baltimore.
But you being from Cleveland, I honestly expected that.
You know what?
Surprisingly, but yeah, born and raised Pittsburgh. So and being how it's so crazy. Cleveland. It's not a long story, but I remember me and my uncle White. We went to Cleveland for somebody's birthday party, and it was like this really ran down strip club there. This is my first time going when I was young. My first time going to strip club. So my first time going to strip club was in Cleveland, and it was not the best experience. I just want to tell you about that.
What side were you on? East side or west side?
Well, this was in 2009 or 10, so I don't really remember.
I mean, I'll give a shout out to, what is it, Lolita's? Maybe Lolita's.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to ask.
Trying to think of some of the, unless you were on Brook Park Road, and then we're talking Pinkies. I mean, this is. I don't know.
It's funny, we got a Pinkies in Pittsburgh. We had one.
Oh, we had one here too. It was 18 to get in, and this is back in high school. So like 18, I never went, but it was 18 to get in, and every story I heard is it was just horrible.
Yeah, because my first time going to a strip club, I'm thinking, because I was a young nasty kid, so I used to watch BET Uncut. And when BET Uncut came on, that's my idea of what strippers was.
You and me both, brother.
So exactly. So when I go, and this is my first real time seeing strippers, I'm like, you know what? it's not really what I thought. Because if it's like, if the girl I lost my virginity to is better than the people here, then I just wasted my trip. You know what I mean? To me. So, and that's saying something. You understand? So, that's what I was just talking, and, you know, with my uncle, you know, he brought that up to me not that long ago about that trip. You know what I mean?
Funny.
So, I just wanted to tell you about the misfortunes that I've had in Cleveland. and hopefully you
Well played.
can rectify that. Hopefully you can rectify that.
Hey man, you come to Cleveland, I'll take you to. We've got some nicer establishments here, but we do. If you want to get a little seedy and you want to slum it a little, we've got those too.
Okay.
You know, Cleveland and Pittsburgh are. It's. I love the rivalry because it's very. The two. They're sister cities. I mean, we're the same people. We just wear different colors and root for different teams.
That's funny.
But I do love the rivalry. I always, every chance I get with anybody from Pittsburgh or the state up north, I've got to say something. But it's always in fun.
It's so funny that a lot of people don't meet people from Pittsburgh.
Really?
They actually, from what I know, a lot of the times when I talk to people, I'm the first person from Pittsburgh.
Dude, I don't know. I grew up in Cleveland. I meet people. I've lived
we're Ohio.
but I've
Ohio's
lived all over the country. I've lived in California. I've lived in Florida, North Carolina. I meet people from Pittsburgh all the time.
That's what's up.
They're good people. Pittsburgh are good people.
Maybe not the Pittsburghers I know.
I mean, it's the same as Clevelanders. I mean, I rep this city, but I mean, everybody's got their stepchildren. No offense to stepchildren.
We got bastards here.
So, how long have you been into music? Now, throughout this was music something that for you helped you get through it, or was an escape, or was just an interest?
You know, honestly, it's just an interest because I was, like I said, I was blessed with a good family at the end of all the saga, so I didn't really have too much. If I did have traumas, they helped me through it. You know what I mean?
What was high school like? Once you got into teenage years, did it get more normal for you? Like, did the press kind of go away and the exposure and the whole thing, or?
Actually, it slowed down by high school. No, not by high school. By fifth grade, like by fifth grade, leaving elementary, it slowed down completely.
Okay.
By fifth grade, yep.
Did you kind of slide into being like a normal kid then?
Kind of, but it's so funny, which is so crazy. People in Pittsburgh, and the people I grew up with, a lot of them don't even know my story like that. Only because, it's like I'm so regular to them. Well, not regular, but I'm so much of a neighbor, or so much of a
just normal.
So normal, and somebody that I'm such a regular for them that when they hear this about me, they'll be like, when the fuck did that happen? Like I'm saying, they'll be like, yo, where was I at? Yeah, I mean, what? Why didn't you say, whatever? So, but their parents, once they find out who I am, they make a big deal of it. So,
yeah.
Because somebody at my age group, it's not gonna mean that much.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's probably not gonna mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
Even if I met you, like, say we were the same age and I met you in 8th grade, if that shit stopped at 5th grade, I wouldn't have known.
Exactly.
we could be in our 20s and be like, oh yeah, dude, didn't I ever tell you the time that? Be like, what? Like, I've known you since we were 12. Like, when did you live that life?
Any of this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I never had a moment of despair. I mean, I did, but I had great rears for me. So I always like to point that out.
I guess, all right, so like 5th grade, where I'm getting at, or trying to, I guess, is that this all subsided kind of at an early age, which is good. And so, like, the baby Byron thing kind of simmered. So then who emerged kind of like 7th, 8th grade, to kind of get into music and get you where you are today?
Okay. What transpired was, I think, 6th grade, I got hip to Grinding by the Clips. You remember that song?
Yep.
So everybody who remembers that song, everybody had to make the beat on the lunch table, or had to make the beat in general, and rap. Whether or not they could or not, it was just a fun thing to do. It was not a shame if you couldn't rap for real. If you could, it was just like, hey, just jump on the sticks type.
Yeah.
And that was my first interaction with hip hop, and or not interaction, but that was my first time being a part of something that was like almost like a cultural invite. Meaning, like, when you go into football, that's a culture. Like, you get immersed in it because there's so much history into it, there's so much, passion into it, there's so much, just, everything about it.
It's a mentality.
Exactly. So the same way that somebody would become a sports fan, I became a hip-hop fan. You know what I mean? So every form of it, every genre, subgenre, every artist, I love them all. So when it comes down to it, that's what introduced me to music. But as far as like putting my life and events into the music, I actually don't really do that, surprisingly. The reason why is because I don't want to hear nothing negative later. Like, I don't want to hear, like, not from people, but from myself. Like, I don't want to hear something later and be like, damn, why did I bring that up? Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, damn, why did I bring that up? So all my music is more so celebratory. You know what I mean? Because I'm happy. You know what I mean? I've been a member of a kid called God since 2016.
Okay.
But me and Shay, who's one half of it, been friends actually since elementary. So he knew me around that time, but we weren't best friends or nothing like that. We just knew of each other. We was just cool. We played on the playground, whatever. But we got older, revisited. I seen he was a rapper, and he actually had way more charisma at doing it than I did. So I kind of fed off of his energy and just kept on going. And
is this Demetrius?
Staying at it. Yeah.
Right on.
Shade Demetrius. Yep. So he's definitely a big part in the transitional period from me doing music, or from me going where it could have been negative into doing music. So I give him a lot of credit for that.
And you guys, it wasn't too long after really kind of focusing on music, was it? Like, it was like a year later you guys came out with your first EP?
Yeah, it was like, if not a year, at least like 6 to 8 months, something like, if not at least under. But yeah,
that's
we went
fast.
straight to it. Well, he was already a rapper, so he was already accustomed to being in the studio. He was already accustomed to performing, and he was already, on that wave. So I had to catch up to his speed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wasn't. He had to show me how to hold the mic on stage, and he put me into the whole game.
There's a lot of things that people don't, they don't really understand until you start doing it, and you're like, oh, there's way more to this than I thought.
There's way more. Yeah,
that's
all
cool.
That stuff.
Well,
he showed me a lot. So with knowing that, that's kind of what just kept me preoccupied, and also kept me also elevating how I look at things. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you got it. That release was in 2017, and that was All Thanks to Drugs.
Right.
And then in 2018, you guys came out with Drugs Demo, and there was a single on there, Maserati Rick.
Right.
That
which is at I think 900,000 on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Like 14-something thousand on Spotify, and I don't remember on YouTube. I actually haven't seen the video in so long. I actually gotta watch it. Now we're talking about
it's always nice to go back a little bit.
it is.
And then you guys ended up signing with AWOL.
Yeah.
And now you've got your own label called God Company?
Yeah, God Company, or just
Godco. And that's spelled Gauwd for those that are listening.
Yeah, I'm not blasphemous. I'm not trying to start a 700 Club rally outside the studio.
No, but that you're doing, you kind of roll with that in homage or in honor.
Right, homage and honor, but also in regards to, even if people read the Bible, there's actually a scripture in there, Psalms 82:6, and then John 10:30. So them scriptures is kind of the basis to the name as well.
Okay. What, from where?
Oh, okay. So the scripture says...
Yeah, I mean, might as well drop that knowledge.
Because, I know, some people don't want to go to church on Wednesdays.
Hey, too bad.
Right. But all right, Psalms 82:6 is, it says, "For we are all gods under the Most High." Yeah, I mean, and I'll just paraphrase it instead of getting exactly, the actual wording. But the phrase comes in Psalms, and if anybody is familiar with Psalms, that's a collection of books. You know what I mean? And it has like 82 books in it, and they're pretty much songs. They're pretty much songs, but they're praises and worships as well, and they're also guidelines to some degree for some people. But yeah, that's what for Psalms 82:6, and then it's John 10:30 is I believe what I said. The other scripture was John 10:30, and in that scripture, Jesus is talking to the Pharisees, and when he's talking to the Pharisees, or the Pharisees are kind of like trying to debunk everything he's talking about, or whatever in the New Testament, and Jesus pretty much says, "Is it not written in the law that you are all gods?" And the law is the Old Testament, the first 5 books. So that's why it was one of those type of things where I was like, I know as a human being, I don't need to necessarily go to church or anywhere of that, standard to have a personal relationship with God.
The structure.
Right. The structure takes away, for people to say that it personalizes, it actually depersonalizes God when you go to church, in my opinion. Because when you go there sometimes with the mind of show.
Yeah.
More, and being an attendant than actually saying, what have you done that day or that week or to do right by God?
I would agree with you full-heartedly.
And you could actually do right by God by the first 3 or 4 commandments. That's honor your father, your mother, and simple stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go to church to do that, because my parents don't go to church. So I don't need to do that. But if the commandments say if I do that, I'm good, then that's something I do. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like love thy neighbor. Because the closest thing to God that I'm going to see is another one of his creations, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why I say that, to say a kid called God is a self-proclamation, like we call ourselves that, to hold ourselves to a higher standard, but also say that we're calling upon God. You know what I mean? So it's a double
meaning.
Or it's entendre.
Yeah, double entendre. Yeah. I like that, though. I like that. And I look, man, I grew up Catholic, so
me too. My mother's Catholic.
Bro, I used to go to church in college, like my late teens, early 20s, and it's exactly what you said. I would go to see who was there and to be seen. Like my whole thing was waiting for communion, and then I would walk up, and whoever was there would see me, and that was for the most part it. And then I just kind of stopped going, and as a Catholic, it's like you sit there and look around that church, and it's like I don't need to be here. I mean, this isn't anything of what my man was talking about. There's gold everywhere. There's just all kinds of elaborate stuff, and no.
Right, there's some other stuff.
I won't even get into the other stuff with the whole Catholic Church, but yeah, I ventured off for a while, and now my thing is very similar to yours. It's I don't need to be somewhere. It's not like your relationship isn't 1 hour a week in one place. Your relationship should be 24/7 everywhere you go.
Right. And mind you, that does not mean bring the Bible with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like, without getting too much on the topic, I look at when I know stories of Jesus, they're not even that complicated. Yeah, I mean, half the time they're probably very simple. Like the scenarios and like the stuff that be in the Bible is everyday people problems for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like every story, there's a story for every kind of person. So so when you go to church, if you don't literally appreciate me in any kind of format, then you can't honestly say you appreciate the Bible, because the Bible has a person for every scenario, literally. Like, it's literally the book that has a person that you can put yourself in a position with at every chapter, literally. So that's why I feel like if I know my relationship with you is good, then I'm doing right by God. If I'm doing right, if my children's relationship or your children's relationship is good, then I know I'm doing right by God because I'm doing one of the commandments. I don't need to go to, because I don't think even going to church is in the commandments. And so that's why I say the guidelines for me is just to do right by you and you do right by me, and we live like that. That's the only way that's the only way I see God topics making sense for me. I don't believe in hell and that other shit people get into because that's too much. That's too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that type of shit be too much. I'm not going that far into like some of these other people, but that hell stuff, I just feel if we do right, we live right.
I'm with you.
To reap the benefits.
My thing lately, though, is that it became a thing where I was like, look, man, there's people that believe in Satan, so that's really all you need to know. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in Satan. You just need to know there's some people out there that believe in Satan and are worshiping him. That's what you need to fight and be aware of. It doesn't mean that you have to believe in it all. It's just somebody else does believe in that. And that's not necessarily the greatest thing to be
and that is not
following. And
you know, it's funny. I didn't even look at it like that, bro. It's like,
yeah, man. Because I stepped away for a while where, growing up Catholic, it's tough. And so it's strict. It's very strict. I studied Buddhism. I studied other religions, anything I could read, philosophies, New Age, all this shit. And got to a point where, like you, I was like, I don't need to be in a church. I have a relationship with God. It's my relationship. I know, what's up. And then I started to get to a point where I was like, I don't really know what the truth is. I know there's something greater and bigger. I feel like we've been lied to, or there's been a lot kept where we don't have the absolute truth. So then I was like, and then all this shit about, I don't know, last election. And I started seeing statues of Baphomet popping up. I saw this is the greatest. It's not, but I saw an after-school satanic daycare program. And it legit got passed and was open for a minute. And then they closed it. But I read that and I was like, wait a minute, where am I at right now? Because in the world I grew up, anybody came out and said that, you would have been burned pretty much. And this is in the 90s. Like, people didn't fuck around with that. Like, excuse me, you worship who? I mean, it's a modern-day witch hunt now. And then all of a sudden I'm like, this is scary. So it doesn't really matter what I believe. It matters that there's people out there practicing things that are not good for everybody else. And that's what matters. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of came up with that. So just for those out there, you don't have to believe.
And that's a good way to put it into perspective. Like, if it's not, if it's not good, then why give it the energy?
Exactly.
And if people are giving it energy, that's saying, hey, that speaks on the core person you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if that type of stuff isn't even real, it's just to let me know, like,
exactly.
Your intention,
exactly.
And your mind is into some other stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's not like Harry Potter.
No.
I mean? It's not like some kid stuff, but it's like I eventually go out of these fantasies of malicious whatever. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, fast forward, it goes into a different kind of, imaginative hatred or imaginative to real. Like, you start aligning these hates that went from imaginative to real people that like to do things that kind of match how you feel. So it's like, you know what I mean? It goes one way or the other way. It's like start Satan, now it's ISIS. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you feel me? It goes one into the next. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Hopefully we're watching it slowly destruct. But yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. Where I was just like, well, that's just got to keep an eye on those people now. Yeah. So now you back to you guys ended up. So you came out and you're doing music, and then you guys decided we want our own record label.
Yeah. Well, it's funny only because I had a meeting with Warner Brothers Records. And the dude I had a meeting with, his name was Andrew Grant, director, and when we was talking, he just really he really appreciated how much I wanted to know outside of me just going to the studio. Like, he appreciated that I I get that. Okay, I'm supposed to rap, but well, how else does this all work? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was one of those type of artists without going so deep, but and him saying, well, shoot, all this stuff that I was bringing to him, he said these are all things that you could do almost on your own, and not only do on your own, but if you did them on your own, it's funny. This advice he gave me, I'm mad I quoted him, but this advice that he gave me, probably he's going to be mad that he gave me this advice. But in retrospect, he told me that, or just back to the point, is, owning what you do is more important than doing what you do. Like, owning what you do is more important than participating in what you do.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good advice.
He didn't say that, but that's pretty much what he was saying.
That was the point, yeah. That was what he was trying to get to you.
And that was like, okay, you know what? Let's not make it a monkey show for me where I'm just, rapping and you're doing whatever and it's not really all it's cracked up to be. You know what I mean? So he said, make sure you know what you're getting into. And him doing that made me look more into starting a label. Even if I had the intention on doing it before, it further confirmed that I should do that.
Right on. Well, good for you, and congratulations to you guys on that.
Thank you.
I think I'm always supportive of anybody doing, obviously, I'm doing this, but anybody doing their own thing or following a dream and any of that, I'm always, I just think it's awesome. You guys came out already with your first solo album through the label, Godco, correct?
Yeah.
That was in April?
Everything except All Thanks to Drugs and Drugs demo has been through Godco. So the 4 or 5 EPs and Drugs Before the Flight that just came out, the first one, has all been through Godco.
Okay.
And so this project, Drugs Before the Flight, is not necessarily a solo project because it's still built under a kid called God. But I took the lead in the direction for how we should go about this project. And Ashe, who's, like I said, one half of the group, has, he was instrumental in how we started. So I'm now a part of the growing process for us to keep growing.
Cool.
Like he was, so in this project is I guess, the example of that.
Right on. Are you guys the only one currently on your label?
No. Godco, we have Nav King, we have Sorted El Yahweh, or Super Sleazy Ham, that he has 2 different rap names. He has music out as well. I actually just did a song with him called Trap One Digital, which is available on all platforms. Then there's Hades Baby, who we have a record with called Daily that is also out. And we have an artist named Larry, but it's not Larry, it's Lrry. And so the team's pretty dope, and we actually have a lot of music with each other. And being how that they're releasing the same year as us, people will be able to get a good glimpse of how we all sound and how we all manage to keep a sound together but we all manage to sound different.
Right on. And for those listening, we did drop a little bit of God knowledge on you, and I want you to know that if you listen to Byron's stuff, however, it's not like that.
No, it's not gospel.
It's hip hop. It's not Christian rap.
Despite the conversation.
Nothing.
And the name of the group.
Nothing against Christian rap. God bless them and stuff, but I personally don't listen to Christian rap, so
me neither.
I do like Byron's stuff. So if you're listening, definitely check it out. What is where if I'm looking to, like, do you guys have godco.com? Do you have a website for the record label?
Yeah, we have god.com, and then we'll have merch available. We're actually finishing up the merch the next maybe 2 weeks, just wrapping up everybody else's, because usually when I want to launch the site, I want to launch it and make it available with everybody else that's also releasing music, instead of saying, it's lodged now. It's just a kid called God. That'd be kind of corny to me. So that's why I said I want it to be available for everybody since everybody's actively releasing music. So yeah, it's God.com, and that's GAUWD.com. Or, you know, you can reach us on Instagram at Kid God, Facebook at Kid God, Twitter at Kid God, all the same. We don't really do too much of the TikTok, but my publicist is on me about that.
Fuck TikTok.
I don't think I'm that type of person. You know,
bro, you're 27. You're 27. You're too old for TikTok.
Thank you, bro. I be saying the same shit. So it's one of those things. If anybody doesn't personally see me on there with the kid, because we have a TikTok, but if you don't see me on there, please don't feel any kind of way. It's just that's not me. I'm barely on my Instagram, if I'm honest with you. So
you got to get that Instagram game up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's something that everybody tells me. But you know, it's so funny that I'm such a personable person that it's hard for me to get into social media.
I was the same way, and then I took a little vacation recently and saw one of my best friends, and she's got her own show. It's Bagels and Shade. Shout out to your girl V.
Shout out V.
Yeah, she is fantastic, and so we got to hang out, and she understands a lot of this stuff, so we were just talking, and I was able to she was able to get me to see some things and change a few things, and one of the things was the IG. She's like, "What are you doing?" You know, she's like, "You're an idiot. Like, here, you got to do this." And the way she did it for me, or kind of showed it to me, or just like the way she talked to me about it, it became more interesting. And now it's something that I look at it differently, because I have a personal one that I don't even really go on it. Now it's about this show. It's about this podcast. So I go on that one, and so it's not really like, for me, it's not really social like me. It's more the show, and I guess I don't really want to say personality, but like the personality behind the show, or the logo itself, actually, just kind of hiding behind that and interacting with people or trying to do some things that are entertaining has become fun. But I get what you're saying, and I was just like that, and now I'm like, well, if I want people to engage, I've got to engage, so...
Right, you got to meet them where they at.
Yeah, you got to go to the people. You got to go to the people.
You know, and that's real, because there's a short story that I want to tell you about. His name was Clarence Smith, and Clarence Smith he was a part of this organization that mostly catered to older people. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, an empowerment group for an older generation, or of I guess the 30s and 40s generation. You know, and he realized how ineffective the teachings were of that group to younger people, because they were too dismissive to younger people. So he went and started, instead of, you know, going to churches and, you know, and all the places, he would go to the corners and the streets that people were at, that were young, where the young kids or young people were at, and engage with them on that level, and kind of meet them on that level, just because there was no other way of somehow getting to them. So he'd smoke weed with them, he'd chill with them, you know, whatever, and then somehow he'd get them out of trouble somehow in the way. You know what I mean? But it was only, he had to meet them in the middle. He had to somehow meet them in the middle. So with Instagram, it's the same thing. You know, it's like, there's a lot of things that a lot of people I know personally, they don't do Instagram personally.
Yeah.
But they understand that, hey, my way of communication, for me to get better at it, I got to get them on it. So they get a little irritated, because I got cousins that's like, you know, lack of better word, street niggas, so they don't care so much about internet. You know what I'm saying? I got dudes that are part of Godco that are helping me with like my street team, and I help me with putting up posts, you know, stuff like that don't really care for social media.
It's a good
getting
thing.
Them to care is hard, because if I don't care, it's hard to make them care.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So,
well, I mean,
I gotta train.
It's I've said this to people. I can help you with your dream, but it's your dream. You know, like if you're not going for it, I'm certainly not going to go for it as hard as you would. So, I mean, you kind of have to. I don't think it's a bad thing, though. I think social media is personally, like with the personal interaction that it takes over, I think it's horrible. for a business or your brand or an image, I totally get it now. And that's where I've changed, and I have fun with it, because now you're creative. It really, that's kind of what I look at it now, is like I just try to get creative with it. Like I try to create a short, just a story, an Instagram story. I'll try to create something that makes me laugh, or that I'm like, oh, I like that, like that's cool, and then just and put it out there. And it's like, all right, this is fun now. Like I'm having fun with it. It's not about the likes or the follows or I need to check it just to feel validated.
That's so real, because I look at, when I actually get on Instagram, I actually get on just to watch Dom stories or some twerk videos.
Yeah.
Like I only watch Dominic stories. And for anybody listening, Dominic Natty, my publicist, I watch his stories a lot because he's funny as hell.
They're great stories lately.
They're really great stories, So I watch those, and then I just go to watch twerk videos and stuff like that. So I don't really get on for much, whether
twerk videos.
Creep. Yeah, just to creep, just honestly. Because what else do you really see on Instagram? Honestly, like.
I don't know. I go to Twitter to see all the twerking and the nudity. Instagram,
I didn't even know Twitter did that. That's
bro. When people tell me that,
when down is pretty much nudity, like every picture.
When people tell me that, I'm always like, where have you been on Twitter? Like, I didn't know Twitter was normal. Like, I follow a lot of normal people. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, I don't know how you don't see the pornography on Twitter. It's just so much.
My Instagram looks like my Pornhub search history. You just gotta log into my shit. You don't know what you're on.
I had to clean all that shit up.
You don't know what you're on.
I had to because I don't give a fuck. Like I'm interested in a lot of different things. And so with the podcast, the social media platforms for this show, at one point I was like, I guess if you want people to take you seriously and they look to see who you're following and it's a bunch of cam models, like, I don't know, maybe that's not the greatest look. Maybe you should probably follow, I still follow some bitches, don't get me wrong. But I had to clean that shit up.
You went from 100. You probably had like 1,000 to now what 985.
Bro, I went from almost every girl shaking her ass on Twitter down to at least like a couple handfuls now. Like, okay, all right, that's more reasonable.
Okay.
But yeah, my IG, I try to keep just like following people I actually am interested in. And like you guys, getting hip to you guys, and then being able to that's kind of what I keep Instagram for. Twitter is like, that's for all the other stuff.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now, I have a question for you. Since we were talking about, my music is definitely not Christian music. I would like for you to, one time, eventually, listen to some of my music, and you let me.
I have.
Text. Oh, you already listened?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah. I like it. I think it's modern hip hop. Like the beat is and I haven't listened to everything that you've put out. But I did listen to quite a few songs, and I was like, oh yeah, this is his generation hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I liked it. I don't know. It's definitely not Christian. That's why I had to put that in there. Like, it's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool.
It's not Christian music.
Like, your belief is your belief. That's great. But I just wanted people to know, because I know, like, if you don't believe, you don't believe. Like, it's all good. I know that if you don't believe, people tend to go, oh, well, and then turn off right away. Like, it's obviously Christian rap, or it's, God's message, and I'm out.
Me and I might make an album called Gospel Album, and it not be gospel at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because there's a good chance that, people will stumble across it.
Well, I mean, you can hashtag that, but if you're going to check Byron's stuff out, it's good music. It's good hip hop. Like, it's not Christian rock or rap or any of that. And and that's all I wanted to clarify. Like, we can have a conversation about God and beliefs, and still be gangster, and still be some street dudes.
Exactly.
You got that right. I agree. I started out in the very inner streets of Cleveland, so
Right.
people always laugh when I tell them that.
But me being from Pittsburgh, I discredit anything Cleveland. Just anything. So
Damn,
you
dude.
just said, you could have told me, you know.
I mean,
You could have told me Tupac was born in Cleveland, and I'd say I don't like him.
see, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. What
Just
about
because
Bone
that's-
Thugs?
Bone Thugs is Bone Thugs are from, yes they are from
Yeah, player.
Cleveland. You know what?
Come on now.
Bone Thugs are very, now, you know, speaking of music, Bone Thugs are very crucial in the DNA of A Kid Called Guy.
Dude.
Because our music is we all right, say for example, the name A Kid Called God is also derived from a tribe called Quest.
Okay.
So our rap name, and not only our rap name, but our style and our whole approach is a modernized, you know, version of what they would be doing. That's how we would say it. Like if it was an alternative universe to A Tribe Called Quest, we'd be their alternative universe.
Okay.
You know. So, and then on Bone Thugs, you know, when we did All Thanks to Drugs, our first EP, there's a song I did called Rollin'. And in that verse, I was, you know, trying, if not trying, I was inspired by how that Busy Bone and especially Busy Bone was able to do fast-paced pattern deliveries and then switch them up in different, like, pitches of his voice. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, the way he did it was very interesting. Now, they all did it, but Busy Bone did it in a kind of quicker and a cleaner cutting way. So I was trying to do that in my own way, but I know I have my own capabilities, so I couldn't do it exactly like him, probably far from Busy Bone. But the idea of how he did it made me want to do it. Because I know when Biggie did Notorious Thugs with Bone Thugs and Harmony, he kind of mocked their flow, or he kind of like, you know, was mimicking them. You know what I mean? So I wanted to somehow do that in my own way.
Dude,
you know?
Busy.
So that's why I say I have a lot of respect for Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Busy's still doing it. And Crazy. You got to get on their IG. They're still doing it. They're still killing it.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's
Still
a talent
killing
that
it.
That's a talent that you can't not, you know, it's not something I don't think you could lose. It's something that you are that good at and something that you started, technically.
Cleveland owns them until they burn Cleveland down and it no longer exists. Like, they are that's it. Like, anybody from Cleveland, even if you're not really into hip hop or rap, like, we love them. Like, it's Bone Thugs and Harmony. And now, you know, I've also got to shout out MGK too. I mean, he's one of the hottest guys out there now, and he's from Cleveland. Probably, he's from the east side, which is probably the side you went to the titty bar on.
Right.
I'm from the west side.
Okay. Do you remember a rapper named Ray Cash?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray Cash. I remember he made a tour stop in Pittsburgh, and this is way back then. And he came to one of our local, you know, record stores, and you know, he just gave a lot of love to Pittsburgh, you know, and that's when I guess another, it's not a Cleveland story, but a Cleveland interaction I had that was not as bad as this one. Like,
Positive. It was a positive one. Well, you guys had Mac Miller, right?
Yeah, Mac Miller.
Rest his soul. R.I.P.
Rest his soul. Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, Wiz is from
Rest his
Pittsburgh?
soul. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wiz is from Pittsburgh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Wiz, Mac Miller, Jimmy Whopper, but he passed away as well. He was a rapper. But, Pittsburgh, yeah. Yep. We don't have that many mainstream artists that people know, but Pittsburgh has always been a contributing member to hip-hop in ways that people might
Damn,
not
you guys.
know.
I did not know. I didn't know. I thought we had you. Actually, we I don't care. All those people you named, Bone Thugs and Harmony, we still got you, Pittsburgh.
You know, yeah, that's true, because that's iconic. But you know what's so interesting about Pittsburgh is, you know, you're a fan of Dr. Dre, and you know, and because there's no way you can't be. But one thing about Pittsburgh and its relationship to West Coast music is that Melman, he's a producer from Pittsburgh. He's been head of production at Aftermath. He's on almost every beat that Dr. Dre ever did. Yep, so he is a contributing member to everything gangsta rap. And then there's Buddha, who's a producer.
He was from Pittsburgh?
And he was from Pittsburgh. And then there's a rapper named Buddha who produced all of West Side Connection's Bow Down album. So Pittsburgh has always been instrumental, but also instrumental on like there's not a main figure, like where people just be like, oh, that's a Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like other than like, you know what I mean, Wiz or something. It's not like New York or, you know, or, you know what I'm saying? Or like Atlanta where there's like hundreds to thousands of those, you know.
That's what makes it so
people.
special, though, I think. That's what I love about Cleveland and Pittsburgh is that it makes it, I think, special.
They only breed greats. Like, they only breed, if they breed anything, like this, like you
exactly.
said, like, you know, Gary, Indiana, they only bred like Michael Jackson and Freddie Gibbs. Those are the only people I know. You know what I'm saying?
Larry Bird.
Well, I mean, like, but as far as music, I can't think of that many people. So it's always good to be from a small city and make it out of it because it makes your story much better. Yeah, I mean, it makes the like whenever, even not just with hip hop, it's with when I hear of a country star that was from a small town in the West Bumba and made, you know, hundreds of millions of records or so on. That's almost the same, you know, narrative from like coming from a small city to small town and making it big. You know, it's just as I look at it as the opposite to growing up in a city like Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? It's small, and if you make it out, it's like, you know, you're Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where she's from, so let me not use her.
Texas.
You know, well, that's a pretty well.
I think so. Yeah.
Part of Texas.
I think a small. No, I think she is originally. I think a small place in Texas, originally.
Usually, I like small town stories of, you know, people that got out of them. You know what I mean? And Pittsburgh is one of those big small cities.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Cleveland very much so. I think it's part of the drive. You know, it's part of what pushes you to do what it is that gets you out of there. Because you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. So, you know, how am I going to change this? And but Pittsburgh, that's to me, like, it's like Cleveland. I don't think it's a small town place that you really try to necessarily get out of. It for me just was like I wanted to do other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I'm saying, like, Pittsburgh's a really cool city. Great people. There is stuff to do, and the same with Cleveland. We go back and forth for those listening. People from here go up there and party and hang out, and people down up there come down here and stuff. We're 2 hours away from one another, and they're great cities. Like for about 3.5-4 months in the summer, and then you can suck it the rest of the year here. So that was what it was for me. It's always the weather. I talk about it all the time. So it's weather. So, but other than that, they're really cool cities. But they are small, and with winters comes not a lot to do. So I think at some point you find a hobby, and if it's music or something creative, then you have the potential to change your surroundings.
Yeah, and I agree.
That's real. What's the future hold for you personally? Like, what are some of your goals, or what are you trying to do from here? What's coming up? Are you guys going to put together a tour?
Yeah. You know, we actually had this idea of doing a play tour because Ashe, or Demetrius, and one half of a kid called God, was actually in theater, and he went to CMU, which is a Carnegie Mellon University for something for theater. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it's something in regards to theater. And, you know, he was a playwright, so he knows how to write plays. So I was like, bro, with that talent, I don't know why we wouldn't use it. Just, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, we've done shows, you know, we've done college shows, and we've done shows that were pretty much a standard hip-hop show, but at the same time, I want to bring back the magic of coming to a show. Because I remember when I was younger and I went to, you know, even though it's not hip-hop, I remember I went to, like, Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Yeah.
It was like magic. You know what I mean? And something about doing stuff like that, I feel like the artist and the fan relationship gets better, but also the fan doesn't just feel like they just came and stood around. And I want it to be better. You know
that was one of the big things with Biggie. I remember watching a thing with him, an interview or whatever, behind the music or something. But he was saying, you pay money to come to my show, so I want to put on a show. And that was one of the things that he worked really hard on, was putting together an actual entertainment throughout the course of you coming just to hear the songs.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and I remember, and it's funny because I seen the movie Notorious, and there's a scene where, like, they were like, they did like a fight scene on stage, like there was a fight breakout, but it wasn't real. They just hurry up and like, they just broke off and it went back into the song, and it was just something that I didn't know if that really happened, so I had to like do some historical fact checking on that. You know what I mean? And he actually did that, and that's why I was like, wow, he had good showmanship.
Oh yeah, that was really important to him.
That's dope. You know what I mean? Because that's it's because you figure the best way to get a real relationship with a fan is for them to actually leave with something. You know what I mean? Like, they left with an experience versus, I feel like that's what makes Michael Jackson. That's what makes, Elton John, and so many other people. When they do a show, it's a show. Like, they leave where it's like they left with something. You know what I mean? And with hip-hop, it can kind of be hit or miss. And I'm going to keep real because I'm from the community. You know what I mean? I can speak on it. And me coming from the hip-hop community, sometimes rap shows could be very, repetitive. You know what I mean? They sometimes don't carry sometimes. So it's good to know how to make sure that it's entertaining. Like when I see Travis Scott do a show or Kanye do a show, or they do shows that make the audience feel like, yo, this is something I'm happy I attended, and whatever I spent, it was worth it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm aiming to do when we go on tour, and that should be, by the grace of the Almighty, hopefully, October of this year, you know what I mean, or, first quarter of next.
Okay. Are you guys, is it kind of planned for October and it's because of the current situation that is uncertain, or are you guys like tentatively planning for October, but...
We've been actually tentatively planning prior to the COVID.
Okay.
For October. We actually had scheduling and all that stuff to kind of build up. We had a campaign to go lead into October. It's just we don't know if whether our plan is compromised due to the circumstance.
Gotcha.
Even though our plan was prior to.
Gotcha. I got you.
Don't know if that's the case still.
So if everything's like, if they don't shut everything down again, or say, no more than 40 people, you guys will have a tour starting in October?
Yep.
Where are you guys going to be going?
Pittsburgh, native states like Ohio, for sure. Mostly
right on.
The tri-state. Mostly the tri-state. We'll try and stay in as close proximity as possible.
Yeah. So
Because
Cleveland?
we're not getting funding.
Cleveland? Come on, man. How are you going to come to Ohio and not Cleveland?
Right, yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Columbus, maybe, but you got to come to Cleveland.
Right. Yeah, at least once.
We got to get it.
At least I can say I did it.
Dude, we got to get people hip to you guys here in Cleveland, and then when you come, I got to take you to a better titty bar, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's probably why I need to. That's why it is. That's all I just need for Cleveland to make up for my last encounter.
I got you.
Right.
All right, man. Well, cool. So again, hit me up with the social medias so people can reach out and find you.
Right, and that's Instagram @KidGod, and that's GAUWD, and it's the same on pretty much any other social. And you can check out our music on YouTube, Kid Called God, or just type in the word God, and I'm pretty sure will be the main, And if you see any other artists with that, they're related, to us. So
And that's
listen to their music.
GAUWD. If you look it up and you're looking for it, it's not GOD. It's GAUWD. And that's also GAUWD.com for their website.
Yes, sir.
Right on, my man.
We have Drugs Before the Flight 2 dropping on July 15th, which is next month, and I'll be available everywhere as well. And the first video from that is Way Too Deep, and that's coming out on July 4th.
Nice.
So these are updates that people can look forward to. And actually, I'll be sending you the private link so you can see it before everybody else. Actually, when we get off the phone, and you let me know what you think.
Hell yeah.
So,
and
thumbs up, you definitely tell people about it and be on the lookout.
Oh, I will. And for you guys, if there's anything you guys want to put out there, or even stuff that's already out there I'll put a playlist together, put it out on a Friday.
Oh, man, that was dope.
Well, V from Bagels and Shades, she does a killer playlist. I don't know, once every couple weeks.
Right.
But I love it. So yeah, if there's anything you guys ever want, or you want to put out there and just I'm on it. I'm on it for sure. It's been awesome talking to you today, and just getting a chance to get to know you a little bit better, and letting people get to know you a little bit better. Go check out his stuff, you guys. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Thank you, everybody that's been tuning in. Special shout out to Christchurch, New Zealand. I see you. Thank you. In Canada as well, which is probably just my XXX long time ago girlfriend listening, but I appreciate you. So, yeah, check them out. Kid Called God Company label.
Yes, sir.
Byron, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
And thank you for having me, and also shout out to V from Bagels and Shade. She did an interview with me before, and I just want to shout out her, shout out
Dom.
everybody that took the time to listen. Shout out Dom, because I know he's gonna flip if I don't.
You got
shout
to.
him out, so
Free the Guido.
#
Free the Guido. If you're out there and listening, free the Guido.
Right. Free the Guido.
Yeah. Everybody be cool to one another. Thank you so much, Byron.
Be cool, spread peace. Thank you.
Right on.
We gotta go, but don't forget to like us and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Slim Pickens Podcast.
If I spot a op, I do a UV with the Uzi. If I spot your thought, I buy her Louis and not Gucci. I be sipping and spinning and dipping with all of my dogs. I be spinning and splitting and give it to all of my dogs. I pull up with all of my niggas that's with it, let's get it. We handle our business, funerals, the weddings, they all get funded. They sign me with trouble, yeah, I'm always up to something, yeah. Little bitch, I made it. Part 2 of my 15 minutes. Little bitch, yeah, already famous. Little bitch, and I'm already faded. Get good top, good morning. Good God, good gracious. Now you really need to face it. Like the words of your bitch before I ate it. You niggas is basic. Like a fiend, I love when the bass it. If I spot a op, I do a UV with the Uzi. If I spot your thought, I buy her Louis and not Gucci. I be sipping and spinning and dipping with all of my dogs. I be spinning and splitting and give it to all of my dogs. If I spot a op, I do a UV with the Uzi. If I spot your thought, I buy her Louis and not Gucci. I be sipping and spinning and dipping with all of my dogs. I be spinning and splitting and give it to all of my dogs.
I'm in the attic right now, watch the money upload. Hustle ain't right, then the money can't grow. If the bitches all coming and they getting unclothed. Can't be around if I know you told. Winter real hot cause the summer real cold. I was just chilling and your bitch just showed. She put it in her lip and she put it in her nose. Said she love me but I don't really know. Fiending, steaming, Willie, beaming. Got 2 twins, I spelled it. name with my semen. Got 10 racks in my savage name, nigga. I'm leaning. I want more money, but I'm giving to the heathens.